Don't mess with me. I'm the Demolition Man. Welcome to the G11. Hello, this is Raging Amish, and welcome to the G11 in Black Ops. This is probably a weird way to start, but does anyone else think the G11 looks like something from the future? Black Ops is supposed to be this retro Cold War game, and we've got this weapon that frankly looks like a phaser gun. I know I'm not the only person who has thought this, because I remember the G11 from Demolition Man. Of course, in that movie, the G11 fired shots of energy rather than bullets. Is that possible with today's technology? Probably not.
Stupid.
I did some research on this gun, and by that I mean I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I found the G11 has quite the historical backstory. I would go into detail, but we're not here for the history. We're here for the G11's gameplay, and I can tell you the G11 really is unique. The only weapon that this gun compares to is the M16, but to be honest, the only comparison I can make is that both are burst fire weapons. I know I haven't covered the M16 yet, but I think it's interesting how the two burst fire guns couldn't be more different. But again, I seem to be going off topic. We're not here for the M16, so let's get into the G11.
I knew you were going to say that.
The G11 is the classified assault rifle. To unlock this gun, you must first purchase every other assault rifle, and that's actually saying something. You need 18,000 COD points to unlock the G11, and another 2,000 on top of that to actually buy the gun. This thing isn't cheap, but is definitely worth the buy. As I've mentioned before, the G11 is one of two burst fire weapons in the game. This is probably the make or break point for a lot of you when it comes to the G11. Overall, the gun is solid, but I know a lot of people absolutely despise the 3-round limitation. Being that the G11 is a burst weapon, the rate of fire is low, at 525 RPM. What's misleading is that the bursts are actually firing at an incredibly fast rate, but you have a 0.2 second delay between bursts. Like I said before, your opinion of 3-round bursts will probably determine your opinion of the G11.
I'll keep that in mind.
Now here's where we get into the good stuff. To start, the mag size is huge, at 48 rounds. I love this feature for two reasons. A, you don't have to reload often, so sleight of hand isn't a mandate like on other guns. And B, your ammo capacity is huge. You don't need scavenger, seeing as you start with almost 200 rounds. Additionally, the damage is good. The G11 is one of several assault rifles to do 35 to 25 damage with each shot. Don't be concerned if the damage sounds weak. The G11 is a 3 to 4 hit kill, or a 3 hit kill at any range if you hit the head. Loosely, this means the G11 will always be a 1 to 2 burst kill at any range. I don't get why Treyarch programmed the G11 to do 35 to 25 damage instead of 40 to 30 damage. The difference is minimal. You lose the headshot bonus up close, and you lose some of the 1 hit kill potential in hardcore. That's it.
Stupid.
Like most of the assault rifles, the G11's damage drops off at 37.5 meters. The only real significance of this drop off is that once in a while, if your target is really far away, you'll need more than 2 bursts to kill. As for the rest of the stat sheet, the G11 is again unique. The crosshairs are SMG crosshairs. Why? I don't really have an explanation as to why. The G11 can make great use of hip firing up close since the crosshairs are so small. Here's something amusing for you though. To quote the strategy guide, the burst fire assault rifles are, and I quote, the next best thing, end quote, to a shotgun.
I am unconvinced.
Yeah, that's not true, but the G11 is still decent at firing from the hip, so feel free to take advantage of this. The penetration power is also good. Like most assault rifles, you're looking at medium penetration. Thin obstacles won't be a problem. The raise and drop times are incredibly fast. You raise the gun in 0.7 seconds and drop it in 0.55 seconds. Granted, the quick drop time doesn't mean much if you're carrying a pistol, but you can definitely switch to secondary launchers very quickly. The ADS time is also good. As is typical on the assault rifles, you're looking at a quarter-second ADS time. If anything's bad on the G11, I'd have to say it's the reload times. The reloads are frustratingly long.
Patience is not one of my virtues.
In theory, this shouldn't be a problem when you consider how big the mags are. You won't be reloading often, but still the slow reloads can be a nuisance. The default reload time comes in at 2.7 seconds, and if the mag is empty, you're looking at a 3.85 second reload. The G11 has a unique chambering action. You actually twist a knob on the side to chamber the first round, so do your best to avoid emptying the mag. In contrast to the crap reload times, the recoil on the G11 is flat out exceptional.
Glorious.
To start, the recoil profile is low. You have a value of 60 up and to the right, a value of 10 to the left, and 20 downwards. The kick will go up and to the right. That is, however, if the gun actually moves. The center speed is high, you see, at a value of 1700. I'm still looking for solid fact to back this up, but trust me, the value of 1700 is great. The recoil profile is low to start with, and the center speed is the highest value you can get by default on any gun. Additionally, the irons are decent, which is to be expected. I say that because we have seen these irons before, several times actually. Treyarch gave a lot of weapons the same or similar iron sights. Some would call it a new take on how to visualize irons. I call it lazy programming.
I find this lack of stimulus to be truly disappointing.
With the recoil done, up next is the attachments, which I must say are very unique. No attachment. This is actually a solid option on the G11. The irons are the only available close quarter sight, and the only way you get them is by choosing no attachment. If you don't want to use a scope, this is your setup of choice. The scoped attachments are better for long-range combat. The irons are good for medium-range combat. It's a matter of your preference. Low power scope. This is probably the most unique sight in the game. I think of this sight as a cross between a variable zoom scope and a red dot sight. You get a reticule in the center of the screen that sways like a sniper, but the zoom level is very low. You can't hold your breath, but then again the scope doesn't idle that much. I found this attachment to be a very solid sniping option in Black Ops.
I love this gun! God damn!
You can aim down the sight in 0.3 seconds, the sway is low, and the shots are accurate. Screw the sniper rifles. The snipers are so slow and cumbersome that they're dead to me. But that's not the case with the G11. I love the low zoom scope. Try it out if you haven't already. Variable zoom scope. This is one of those attachments that I thought for sure would suck, but was pleasantly surprised to find that it is very useful. This attachment plays quite similar to the low zoom scope, however this time you actually cut off some of your vision when you aim down the sight. The trade-off is that you can now change your zoom level, and if you need to, you can hold your breath. Personally, I tended to stick with the lowest zoom level on this scope. It worked well, but the option of extra zoom is there if you ever need it.
Ooh, sweet music to my ears.
There's still so much more with the G11 that I like. Namely, how much flexibility this weapon gives you when selecting your perks. For the blue perk, you have options. You don't need scavengers, seeing as the gun pretty much already has it with the default ammo loadout. Just throw on your perk of preference and have fun. The red perks are kind of the same story, although I will narrow it down slightly. You have 3 great options. Most people would probably suggest sleight of hand, seeing as the reloads are so slow. But to be honest, I don't think you need said perk. Personally, I recommend Hardened. The reduced flinch really comes in handy when trying to place long-range shots. And even better, you'll be able to take out campers.
Oh, I'm so scared.
As a third option, I'd say at least try out Steady Aim. The crosshairs are tiny. Selecting this perk is definitely overkill, but god damn is it fun. With the perks done, we're nearing the end. But before we finish, we need to take a look at the zombies. So here goes. The G11 in Zombies is unimpressive. Found only in the box, it's okay strength-wise. The problem is the ammo loadout. You only get 200 rounds, which isn't a lot. I praised the ammo loadout in multiplayer, but I'm criticizing it in Zombies. You'd probably be better off using the G11 as a club and just whacking the zombies upside the head.
Well, I must say that whacking, whatever it is, sounds most disagreeable.
That's what she said? Maybe? Kinda? No? Okay. Anyway, if you put the G11 in the Pack-a-Punch, you get the G115 generator. which is a reference to element 115. Does this reference actually mean anything? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is a blast. However, it's a very short-lived blast. You gain automatic fire, and on the G11, that's saying something. You lose the 0.2 second delay between bursts, but god dang do you chew through ammo.
Really? Brutal.
Try this gun out. You'll run out of bullets quickly, but it is worth every penny. With zombies done, I'm nearing the end of the G11. I stand by what I said at the beginning. The G11 is a unique looking gun that frankly has its own playstyle, and considering how little variety Black Ops has in it, I must say it's a pleasant surprise. The G11 combines powerful bursts, accurate shots, high ammo loadouts, and clean sight attachments. Additionally, it doesn't hurt that the G11 brings a weird futuristic feel with it.
Wait a minute, this is the future. We're all in the phase of guns.
Is the gun designed for everyone? No. The burst fire mode is frustrating to many, so don't be surprised if this isn't your cup of tea. Still, it's a powerful gun, and one of the few breaths of fresh air that Black Ops has to offer. That concludes my review of the G11. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time when I'll be covering the ballistic knife. Wait a minute. Oh, you mother...